In this video, we are going to take a look at more solving log and exponential equations with some different techniques on using properties and change of base. So the first three examples we will do in this video will use the three different properties that we know for logarithms. First is the exponent property, and we can actually do this one in two ways. I can start by bringing up the 2 as an exponent. Because they're both log base 5, I can then set the inside equal and solve. Now remember we have to be careful when we solve. This comes out to plus or minus 3 if we use this technique. But if I were to go back and plug into the original, it's very important for these to plug in the original and not any of the steps in between. And I take the first part and I have log base 5 of negative 3. That is outside the domain of your log function. Your domain is 0 to infinity, or x is greater than 0. So, and it's really this inside part that has to be greater than 0, so whatever is really in that parentheses. So the negative 3 would not work. This would just be x equals 3. Now, if I did this with a slightly different technique where I divided both sides or multiplied both sides by 1/2 first, I would have 1/2 on the other side. And if I brought the 1/2 up to be an exponent, raising 9 to the 1/2 only gives us one answer of 3. So you would just get the x is 3 answer. You should still check it, but with that technique, you don't get the 2 answers and you're in better shape. Okay. Our second one, we'll use the product property. And will also require us to, sorry about that, my computer is asking me to do some updates right in the middle of the video. Great timing. All right, so product property, we will be combining, and then we also are going to need to switch to exponential form in this one as well. So we have addition here. We're going to combine into one logarithm, which will be important for any solving. And then we're going to be multiplying x plus 3 times 2 minus x. I'm actually going to do two things at once here. We're going to switch to exponential, and then I'm going to start multiplying this out. So negative x squared minus 3x plus 2x plus 6. And then I'm actually going to, let's just combine this first. Any quadratic, in case there's factoring, I like to add everything to the side that would make the x squared positive. So I'm going to make this x squared plus x minus 2 equals 0. This factors. And you get 2 answers. And you should check both. So I'm just going to check off to the side. No matter what I plug in here, I'm good. But if I do the negative 2 plus 3, I get a positive answer. 1 plus 3, I also get a positive answer. So I'm checking inside the parentheses. And really, I probably should also check the other side. 2 minus negative 2, that's going to give me 4. 2 minus 1 gives me 1. So it gives me the same 2 answers, just in a different format. So both of these do work when I check them. Very important to do when you're looking at a log equation, to always check your final answers. And then my third is going to use the quotient or division property. So we're going to do natural log. It doesn't really matter which one we're working with here, since there's actually going to be a log on both sides for this. So with our division, or with our subtraction, we're going to use the division property, x divided by x minus 1. Since the ln is on both sides, we can set the insides equal. I'm just going to make this into a 2 over 1. Do a quick cross multiply. It's not necessary, but it just might visually make it easier for you to see what to do. And we end up getting x is equal to 2. And if I were to plug that back into each of these spots, it will work. All right, so that wraps up our video with the solving that involving the properties. And the second video, we'll look at some exponential and log equations where you have to also change the base.